So first of all, my hair looks, yeah. What do you do when your child has a meltdown? So when they're younger, it's called a temper tantrum, and you deal with it, and there's, everybody has advice and blah, blah, blah. But then, like, when they're older and they're learning their emotions, they're learning their way in life, who they are, their personalities, and sometimes Julian, his shit just does not go right. And sometimes he is just, I don't even want to say not happy, but he's so frustrated. He is anxious, and it all comes to a head. And so what we're working on is refocusing how we're feeling with better outcomes. So if you scoot back a couple videos of losing my shit, I took myself out of the situation, and even in another video, we were talking about some girls that are always like, why are you looking at us? And he gets so upset because he's not looking at them. He does everything he can to avoid them because he doesn't want them to say this. And it's to the point where he doesn't even want to go, it's at lunch period. And I'm like, can you guys move your table? No. Can you do? No. So now we're learning how to react differently to things. But I'm wondering if anybody has any advice on what to do, how to do it, or what you do. Because I will say the communication between him and I is excellent. And where he was 2 years ago and where he is now is like a totally different person. Like, we've really worked through it. He worked through it with therapy. Unfortunately, his current therapist, we have scheduling issues, and I'm working on finding him another one. But I still work on him with it. In school, they work on him with it of appropriate reactions and I don't know why I have such a brain fart. How to have a better reaction to things, because you have control over that. You can't control the world, but you can control how you react to the world. And I'm trying to show by example. I got a text message that really upset me. Like, it hurt my soul and my heart. And instead of going back and forth with this person, because I played the text message, I wasn't expecting it. And I played the text message on the car because we were in the car together. And he could see how much it upset me. And I didn't realize how aware he is. But as I was driving, and I was just like, oh, yeah, whatever. As I was driving, oh, my watch keeps coming off. I don't like it tight. Anyway, put his arm around me while we were driving. And he was like, it's okay, Mom. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, in this moment, I can choose to do the talk to text and text back what I'm really feeling. Or I could step back, process it, and then decide how to move on. Everything in me, like as I was driving, I was like, oh, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, and here's another point. Oh, and blah, blah. And I was just like, I'm not going to do that in front of him. I'm not going to be that toxic person he needs to get away from. And this person that texted me, I'm not going to have them in his life or my life because they're toxic to us. And I don't need anyone who flips on me like that and whatever. And I don't need that for him because this is not the life I'm teaching him. I'm teaching him to move forward with kindness. I'm teaching him to move forward. Okay. Anyway. So with that being said, I took my time. I thought about it. And my reaction was just like, hey, okay, thanks. Done. Person came back at me again. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I see your point. Thanks. I'm not going to feed into it. What was going on was like so random. Something I didn't even know about. something that originally had nothing to do with me, and somehow this person was trying their hardest. And my guess was they didn't get a reaction out of the person they originally went to, so now they were trying me. And I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I talked to Julian about it. How did that text make you feel? How would you have reacted? Blah, blah, blah. And then I showed him how I reacted. And this is what I'm trying to teach him, that the way we react to things is our choice. Our anger is our choice. The other day when I lost my shit, that was my choice to react that way. I could have taken myself out of the situation at that moment. I just couldn't. I was livid. I was mad. I was angry. I was frustrated. But, in life we're learning. And just like, my 12-year-old, I'm teaching him this. Oh my goodness. Anyway, each other, right? I'm learning too, because this is not how I was raised. I was raised in a very reactive household. I didn't have a voice for a very long time, and I just accepted shit as it was until I blew up. And what I am avoiding are these blow-ups. And I will say my progress is beautiful. I don't give myself as much credit as I should, and I'm aware of that. And I'm trying. I'm really, really, really trying. And I want to be that example for Julian. So when your kid is having like a down in the dumps day, and their anger, anxiety, whatever it is gets to them, and they become reactive, how do you walk them through it to de-escalate? Is that a word? Thinking like if they like bombs about to go off and they whatever. How do you do it? Because here, we talk about it. We have our private space to take a step back. And when we do take a step back, it is expected that after you have that moment to think about it, that there is going to be a conversation. And sometimes conversations suck. And sometimes if I lose it, I'm just like, damn, I got to go and I got to be accountable. And being accountable sometimes sucks. But how else do you learn and how else do you grow if you're not accountable by your mistakes? And if you don't give yourself credit when you're doing it right? How else can we grow if we don't do those things? And how do we set an example to our littles if we're not doing that? So I'm just wondering. I feel like Julian and I have a pretty good system, but there's always more to learn. There's always more to know. And I'm just curious. Now I'm going to try to get to the stop button.